First of all, super nice to actually see you all. So this is such a pleasure to be here. I thought I'll use the time to explain a little bit more about Helen Ventures, since we are a newcomer in the game, and also talk about a little bit of our first investments. So first of all, we are the investment arm of Helen. Helen is the leading energy company in Finland, and as a player, very technically advanced and agile as a company. And in terms of the investment, so we focus 50 million euros into European leading energy transition focused companies. And we can do early phases, so going all the way, starting from seed and going into syndicated Bs and anything in between. And super excited, of course, to also talk to the startups, but also the fellow investors to consider collaboration. In terms of the focus, so I think over here I don't need to preach it. So if you think about what the stage we are as looking at the world today and the climate change and the role we play in making that better. So I think it's super exciting to be working on the energy field in the transition, and it is really ripe for the innovation. I'm a true believer that finding the technology, defining and finding solutions to these grand problems, actually we can make a difference. And that's, of course, the motivation I think we all share. In terms of the focus, so this is obviously looking at the technologies in the energy space. So looking at renewables, looking at efficiencies, but also looking at sector integration. So looking at areas where transport becomes electrified, or looking at the solutions where different industries become decarbonized, or looking at circular economy linking the different sectors. And across all this, for us, the key is the digital technologies. So looking at the technologies which can be applied and provide the capabilities for us to actually make an impact and use it into the field of energy. As I said, so what I think any of the investors, we all say that we are strong as our portfolio companies. So I really want to take this opportunity to talk about these 5 fantastic companies. And luckily, you'll hear 2 of them speaking today, here later today. So I'll start with Virta, which is a Finnish company, our first company in the portfolio, and focusing on the e-mobility. So it is actually the fastest growing e-mobility platform in Europe, and did just a Series B in the springtime for 30 million euros, and now accelerating into the growth. In the same field, we have Ecosummit, and I'll let Manuel, who's the next speaker, to explain more of that fantastic company, also transforming the way the charging station software in the future is developed. Then our third investment, a Dutch company called Gradient, and for us, especially in the Nordics, thinking of how do you find the solutions which actually help us in the area of heating, because where we live, you have to have the solution, and finding the ways to make it more CO2 or lower the CO2 emissions and the capability to make it more green are super important. And it's not an easy challenge to tackle. So what Gradient is doing is looking at the digital twin of the district heating networks and applying the AI to actually be able to lower the temperatures, and by lowering the temperatures, the CO2 emissions and the bottom line increase. So that's super interesting as well. Our fourth company is a Norwegian company called Think Outside. And if you think about the environment where we are producing the electricity, one of the most important elements is hydropower. and there hasn't been so much of innovation in the area of hydropower. So what they do is bring the capabilities of looking at the amount of water which is in the snow before it melts, so that you know how much production capabilities and the volume you will be having in advance, and be more accurate about it, has a huge impact, not only to the production, but the whole electricity market in general. And the fifth one, our latest investment from Berlin, and also hearing today, Live EO. So Sven will be explaining it more in detail, but super exciting thing about bringing the new space vision into grid and different kinds of grids. So not just the electricity, but also the railways and the gas grids and so forth. So looking at these solutions to be able to monitor more efficiently. You'll hear more about it today. And then what you get if you work with us. So obviously this is a people business. And from our side, we have the strong mission of, first of all, of course, understanding the energy sector. So bringing those insights and understanding how it really works so that you can tackle it as a startup. But then not only the energy, but also the capabilities of the digital. So understanding the digital markets and how you can bring these together and what that enables you to do. And then obviously the venture capital know-how. So combining these three in our team is what we want to offer for the startups. So who we are a player in the Nordics, so we can help you open the doors in that direction if you so desire. And then, of course, being a CVC, the perspective of linking the VC with benefits and being able to offer the playground and offer the door into testing and scaling your businesses together with us. So thank you so much for having the opportunity to be here. Thank you.